Greetings, everybody. My name is James. I am from the internet, and today we are going to be talking about performative theater. Now, today marks the exact halfway point of Pride Month here in the States, and this will be the first video I've done discussing anything related to Pride. And that might seem a little odd, considering how much time I talk about and try to support marginalized communities. However, I don't really have a lot of skin in the game here, and the first 2 weeks of Pride was predominantly spent by talking heads discussing A, the place of kink at Pride, and B, whether or not Pride and its history should be remembered as a radical movement as opposed to a Hallmark holiday. I have no skin in this game. It's not my place to say how this should go down. It is my place to support friends, family members, and other people in marginalized communities. And when they turn around and say, hey, can you discuss this? Or hey, can you discuss this? I'm more than happy to do so. But outside of that, I don't think it's my place to go waving a pride flag because it's Pride Month, because in my head, that screams, look at me, I'm waving the flag. And frankly, I would rather support my friends and families in these communities 365 days a year by normalizing such things rather than getting hyped up for the 30 days of promotion and then going back to sleep for 11 months. Now, if any of this seems a little off base, what I'd like to do is show you a story, read you some facts, and then we'll circle back and discuss this. Cool? Let's take a look. Here we go. 25 corporations marking Pride donated over $10 million to anti-LGBTQ plus politicians. And this is where I'm going to get into talking about performative theater. When you make a big, grand standing spectacle over your support for somebody, while you're busy spending all your time away from them, working to stab them in the back. The study released on Monday by the Popular Information newsletter found that alongside pronouncements of LGBTQ plus support, corporations including CVS, AT&T, Walmart, and Comcast have supported candidates who seek to block or otherwise restrict equal rights based on gender or sexual orientation. Many of the corporations have 100% ratings on the Human Rights Campaign 2020 Corporate Quality Index, which measures workplace policies and public commitment to the LGBTQ community. The index does not take political donations into account. So what you see happening here is nothing surprising or nothing new. It's merely companies going out of their way to paint themselves as accepting and open to all people and all identities, while doing the important thing of actually spending money on legislation that does the absolute opposite of what they claim their corporations hold to be some of their deepest core values. This is marketing. It is performative theater. The study found that CVS, while receiving a perfect HRC score and announcing on Twitter it was, quote, proud to join more than 100 companies that have signed HRC's business statement opposing anti-LGBTQ state legislation, also supported sponsors of anti-trans legislation in Texas, North Carolina, and Tennessee through its corporate political action committee. Words are cheap, but influencing politicians actually, well, that requires money. So the bigger question normally is not what are they flapping their gums about as a corporate marketing department, but rather what kind of legislation are they supporting with their enormous billionaire checkbooks. In Texas, CVS backed Republican state senators Dawn Buckingham and Brian Hughes, co-sponsors of State Bill 1646, a bill that would, quote, change the state's child abuse law to make it a crime for parents to allow children to receive gender-affirming medical care. The company also backed North Carolina State Senator Ralph Heiss, primary sponsor of State Bill 514, which would ban anyone under the age of 21 receiving gender-affirming treatment, and which the Advocate, an LGBTQ+ outlet, called the most repressive anti-transgender health bill in the nation. Oh, but don't worry, CVS is listed on a list of places that are really nice to gay and trans people. And, you know, it's June and they have rainbow stickers on their front glass window right underneath the sign that tells you that bottles of Coca-Cola are on sale for $1.49. And also, you can apply within for somewhere just over minimum wage to come and sell your labor cheaply, regardless of the gender you identify as. Thanks, CVS. CVS has donated more than $250,000 to 54 members of Congress who receive an HRC rating of 0, largely through voting against the Equality Act over the last 2 years. Others named in the study include cable giant Comcast, which has donated more than $1 million to anti-LGBTQ politicians since 2019. And now I'm going to say something that is probably not going to be too popular. It's cool. It's kind of my thing, but here we go. I am fine with corporations being anti-LGBTQIA+. I am 100% behind corporations being shitty and bigoted. If you want to be a corporation and your board of directors is a bunch of old Christian conservative white people and you want your corporation to be an old conservative Catholic type corporation much like yourself, then fine. Go for it. Make your goddamn place Hobby Lobby. I don't care. But do me a favor. Stop with the hypocritical bullshit. If you literally want to die on the cross, then by all means do so. But don't put a rainbow sticker in your front window. Put up a goddamn cross. A Comcast subsidiary, Xfinity, recently tweeted, "Pride is the love we share, and with Xfinity, it's Pride all year." Of course, they don't tweet that stuff out all year. They only tweet it out in June, but I digress. Comcast itself has created a virtual Pride world where they feature events and Pride floats and Pride flags and even a pronoun guide for employees. Ooh, that's cutting edge progressive there, Xfinity, subsidiary of Comcast, who it turns out has donated more than $1.1 million to anti-LGBTQ+ politicians since 2019, including $30,000 to the sponsors of anti-trans legislation in Florida and Texas, and more than $1 million to 149 members of Congress marked 0 by the HRC guide. Again, performative theater. You can do this and run your mouth all you want, but the checks you're writing, those speak far louder than this. But credit to you for going out of your way to try to market the shit out of your acceptance so that nobody hears the sound of you taking your pen of bigotry and hatred and loudly scrawling it across your big-ass checkbook. AT&T, which recently said, "We can hashtag turn up the love for LGBTQ together," also signed an HRC letter opposing anti-LGBTQ state legislation, but it has also supported sponsors of anti-trans legislation in Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, Texas, and Florida. Walmart, whose website features a Pride and Joy section, has donated at least $442,000 to 121 politicians who received a 0 from the HRC. You're beginning to see the trend here, right? I don't need to dig too much further into this to explain to you that corporations will do anything and say anything to get as many customers as possible. But when it counts, when it's on the line, they will always whip out the checkbook for their conservative friends, because this is who they are as individual stakeholders, as individuals on boards of directors, as C-level executives who are individuals. This is what they're all about. But putting stickers in windows and telling you that they'll hire anybody regardless of their gender identity, that's what they're going to crow about the loudest, just so you don't focus on this bullshit over here. While many companies named in the popular information study did not comment, many did reaffirm their commitment to LGBTQ+ rights. General Motors said its political contributions, quote, do not represent an endorsement of the candidate or support for all of the issues the candidate supports, and we will continue to clearly communicate with policymakers GM's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's right, we really want non-binary people to feel completely comfortable coming to one of our many showrooms and plunking down $30,000 to buy one of our vehicles. Heck, we even want you to feel comfortable enough coming in to fill out an application to sell us your labor cheaply so we can exploit you in exactly the same manner we exploit all the straight normies who are working here also. Ford Motor Company said contributions by our employee pack are bipartisan and take into consideration many issues that are important to meeting the needs of our customers, our team, and our company. Google defended its record on supporting the rights of all LGBTQ people and said a contribution to a candidate doesn't mean that Google agrees with that candidate on every issue. In fact, we may disagree strongly on some issues. Amazon also took a similar position. In other words, what corporations are telling you is that, yeah, we know these old, rich, white bigots that we're giving lots of money to in the hopes that they get elected to further deregulate shit so that we can make more profit. Yeah, we know that they're bigoted pieces of crap, but you know they're going to help us make more profit. But hey, did you see the rainbow sticker we put in the front window? Did you see it? It's bigger than last year's. Last year's it was only this big. This year it's this big. So now that I have once again explained to you that corporate shitbags only care about getting you in the door to either buy a product or cheaply sell your labor, what does any of this have to do with performative theater and you? Well, number one, I'd really like us all to acknowledge that when corporations say one thing and do another, that we should completely ignore what they're saying and solely focus on what they're doing. That would be a good start. Number two, we could all put our money where our mouth is. And instead of buying services and products from these shitbag corporations with shitbag CEOs and shitbag board of director members, all of whom want a beautiful, white, old school Christian conservative ethno state, well, instead of supporting those people, you could, go to the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce, which is nglcc.org, and you can find businesses that are owned and operated by members of the LGBTQ+ community. You can literally support the people who will be most impacted by all the money being spent by corporations to lobby against labor laws. And finally, number three, and my larger issue, performative theater. Now, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't support your friends and family members who are gay or non-binary or a member of a marginalized community. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go out in your city and town and support pride events. What I'm saying is this: if you are going to support people during Pride Month, then support them every day, all year long. Come out when it matters, not when it's convenient. Until next time, my name is James. I am from the internet and I am out. Peace.